Welcome back to another review video. This time we're going to look at the Eavy Metal brush set. So here we are, just out in time for Christmas. And so what it comes with, we have a little booklet in the back here, and 2 pots of Eavy Metal medium, which is basically just a matte medium, matte being no gloss. And then we have this tin and these 2 Eavy Metal branded paintbrushes. We got a large one and standard. So we're going to take a look at what's in this package, and then we'll move over to the table, my painting table, and we'll compare it to some other stuff and see how they work. So I want to be careful here. I don't want to wreck my little booklet. Oh, that's not good. Looks like we had a bit of a leak there. And there's my medium. And so yeah, 2 of those, and let's get these brushes. Okay, so just off first glance, they're a little bit heavier duty wood than most of my brushes, so like a bit thicker there. And the tips, we'll take a closer look at that in a minute, but nice on first glance. And inside this tin, okay, so this holds like a full set of brushes. So that's we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can have 8 brushes in there. And we'll take a quick flip through this. I won't show you exactly everything in it because I don't want to get in trouble. But okay, Joe, what's his name? Oh, I got a little bit of bio from each of them, and some comments and a bit of a color theory. I think that's in the Games Workshop blog. But okay, so it's probably some little tips and tricks. But we'll take a read through that, and I'll let you know what I think. And then, so I'll see you when I move over to the painting table. Okay, so now we're looking at the little booklet that they gave us. So this is the booklet. I've flipped through it, had a chance to read most of the stuff in there. And it seems as though what they did is they interviewed each of the Eavy Metal painters that they currently have, and they all put a little bit of a blurb giving some hints and tips, which I think is a good idea. Helps you get a little bit of insight and see what sort of things they have to offer. Overall, the kit's pretty cool, and we're going to look at the paintbrushes in a second here. So the booklet, probably kind of stuff you would see in a White Dwarf article, but useful, and maybe a good reminder for some of the things that you have read elsewhere, but now it's from the experts all on one spot. So over the painting table, and we'll take a look at the brushes. Alright, in this part of the video I'm just going to try to do a basic comparison of these brushes to some other brushes I have. So there we have the large and standard. This is one of my favorite detail brushes. It's a Lowell Corning Cornell, I think it is 18-0 liner brush, so it's got a super long tip. Hopefully you can see that. And I use that for a lot of things. I also have some of these Rafael brushes as recommended by From the Warp, and there's a number 1, and I also have a 0 for that. There we are there. You can see they've received lots of use. And let's see here, we have I have also some other GW just standard brushes. That's the ones with these colored ends on them. And here's a Citadel. This is old school Citadel detail brush. And okay, so let's look at a standard size here. Oh, and one more brush. Here's a Lowell Cornell 5-0 spotter. So that's like our detail brush. Over the years, what I found is the sable, so natural hair brushes, work a lot better. They last a lot longer. They tend to be more expensive. So anytime you see nylon, or what's the other name for that? Basic, any sort of nylon brush, they're cheap, they're decent, but they won't last as long. So these ones here are meant to be really good natural hairs. So what that means is they'll tend to form a point there, and that'll last longer. These Rafael brushes, I ordered those online, and I've had those for a couple months now, and they've lasted quite well. And I use a little bit of brush cleaner. I can get that focus. So this is just a basically a thing of soap. That's going to be overexposed, sorry. Anyways, it's just a big hunk of soap, and you wet your brush and you kind of swirl it around in there. I picked stuff up like that at Michael's craft store using the coupons, and that helps things last longer. So anyways, so just on first glance, let's see if we can't focus that. So that's it looks, looks nice. I would expect that from a $60 set or whatever it is in your local currency. And I think I said before that these are a bit thicker barrels, so here's these Rafael ones as a comparison, so they're a little bit thinner, but that doesn't really matter. And this one here, this super fine detail one, it's got a big fat sort of primary pencil kind of feel to it, which I like as well. And there's your standard Games Workshop current edition detail brush. So that one, I just used the soap on that. So I mean, that's not really going to tell you much apart from, that's a large one. Let's look at the standard. So nice detail. Let's give it a shot on a model. Okay, so these days I'm working my way through the Dreadfleet, and I'm currently working on the dwarf ship here. So I got some gold. This isn't really going to be much of a test. This is just to see kind of in general how the brush handles, and what kind of tip it has. Really, the test, personally, I mean, apart from just initial look, which I'd say it passes, is how well the brush lasts over time. So any quality brush, to me, it's if it lasts a couple months with intense painting, then I'd say it's a good brush. If it lasts longer than that, then it's an excellent brush. And over the history, I've found that Games Workshop brushes are quite good. I mean, I assume that if this is sort of their premium brush, this is going to be quite good. But really, the test will be long term, so months from now, if this is still holding its tip, and how well it holds up to wear and tear and abuse on your paint table. So as a finale to the review, I would say if you've got money to burn, it's a good, it looks like a good set. The medium, I haven't really tried that out, but let's take a look there. Looks pretty thin. Without using it extensively, it's hard to say. I also use this flow improver from Reaper, and I think it probably does the same thing. It's just an acrylic medium that isn't glossy. So do you need to get the heavy metal stuff? Well, it comes with the kit, and you can't buy it on its own, so probably not a bad thing. I think Reaper and sorry, not Reaper. This is Reaper. I think Vallejo makes one, and P3 as well, so you can kind of pick your poison there. But the real question, I guess, is over time, will these brushes stand up? I've heard that they're just rebranded other brushes. You can probably search online to see where to find those. If that is the case, then you're probably paying a little bit of a premium to get that logo on there. Is it worth it for you? Well, that's going to be your choice. But for me, I think they look like nice brushes, and basically when you break it down, these are probably worth maybe $5 each. The case was free, and same with the booklet, and these are maybe $25 each. So that's a lot for a paintbrush. From my experience, these Rafael ones are about $15, and I would buy those again. They're quite nice, and I think they're a similar sable. This Kolonsky, I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, leave some comments. I'm gonna have a page up on Watching Paint Dry. That's my blog, so it's like watchingpaintdry.blogspot.com, and you can hear what other people have to say about this and post your comments and vote up other comments if you want, just so that your voice is heard. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.